Oh, Mr. Hero. Don't be afraid now. Don't you recognize my voice? My, fur person half starved. You sure can jump. Who am I? Who am I? Well, you've been here for an eon ever since Daddy kicked your ass all the way to the underworld and took over. I can still hear your friends getting executed one by one. That nerd with that stupid hat slowly crushed by books. That thief kneel-hauled by his own ship. And my personal favorite, that stupid princess getting slowly gouged by the icky blessed sword Daddy corrupted into something much more fashionable. It's not fair you got front row seats. Aww, are you crying? Let me just... Oh, I love the smell of sadness in the morning. Oh, that's the stuff. Oh, look at that grumpy face. Very lively for a half-dead person. I could just pinch your cheeks if it wouldn't peel so easily. Oh, you're no fun. I'm sure you have a busy schedule. 8 a.m. make your first mistake in the morning by waking up. 9:30 choke on stale bread and dry thimble of cider. 10 a.m. wallow in grief. 10:30 bang your head against the wall and curse the curse that won't let you die. 11 rot in a cell. 12:30 tea and biscuits and so forth. So, little old Lilith has a proposition for you. I believe you and your dumb comrades were fighting for these pieces of crap. Father was going on about nipping their hope in the bud before it had a chance to bloom. Eternal darkness where demons rule the surface. Blah, blah, blah. Daddy said he cursed these so that your 𝗙cie never touched them. Well, tell me how these work so I can bullshit him. A clock that lets you see the past. And a pair of scissors that let you snip off choices or mistakes made in life. So, if used together... So that's why you guys were so stubborn. I'm a little less surprised you fought all the way to the throne room. This would have changed everything. Oh, how this does and doesn't change my little plan. So, I'll take you far back into the past. Far enough to bring you back to your prime and train yourself to stop any tragedy my old fart had cooked up. My personal favorite has to be between the time he casted a meteor at your hometown or polluted that ritzy castle water supply into blood and maggots. We ate well that day, though 𝗏𝗪𝐿𝐺 and his mongrel wife were a bit overcooked. Why am I doing this? I remember the day I wanted you in my life. Ever since that fateful day when the world was lost to darkness, there we were, just you and me, clashing in the inner sanctum, just before the final battle. The way our blades danced, that look of bloodlust on your face, when you knew your precious princess was just feet away from your embrace, and how you were pulling all the stops to make sure by the end of the day, one of us was going to splatter on that wall. I won't ever forget the words you said before you took my left arm. Only one of us is ready to bleed today. And then you did something that continues to drive me insane to this day. Right when Daddy was about to throw me out like the rest of the trash that disappoints him, you got in the way and spared me from his attack. I just don't understand. I just don't. Not sure yourself? Maybe you wanted to make up for all the people you couldn't save. No matter. It was right after that point, Daddy pulled his ace in the hole and possessed the princess to attack you just inches from these things. Total world domination is nice, but then he had to go and ruin it by saying how he managed to do that. The Dark Lord used the princess to make me. A long time ago, the Dark Lord placed a curse on the princess to follow every command. He then ordered her to make me with the foulest magic to mend mortal and demon blood into me. I'm surprised you didn't catch on earlier. The way he contorted her like a puppet on strings. Didn't it seem strange to you that she wanted to join the fray after getting freed? The fact she knew exactly where to go despite being a prisoner. Do you have any idea how it feels to share blood with the only person you will pine for? He knew how much I hated her. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I can't go outside, and I can't enjoy the smog and molten seas, knowing that the one thing in my way lives inside of me. No matter how much I bathe in blood and scrub raw, the filth won't go away. Then there's you. All my life I've ever known is to follow the strongest, and while nothing much has been done to change that, something inside you is a particular caliber of strong. No matter what Daddy does to you, you refuse to die. But I think... no. I know that he can't. Whether it's the bloodline that plagues him over several lifetimes, or you're a demon processed yourself, I want you. I want to see that strength at its prime. Really? What's the catch, she says? What do you think? In exchange for a priceless second chance, you will belong to me, and me alone. Whatever I want, you give it. Time, attention, blood, whatever. You will never see that prissy princess again. An ugly decision? Well, tough luck. I don't think you have long to make a decision before the wardens come for your daily beating. I'll give you 4 minutes to decide. By the covenant behind the curtain, I call on the power of the void to bound this mortal's fate to mine. May our shadows intertwine from boiling blood to cold ash. Pledge your soul to serve mine, to forfeit your past and endure a new present. Vow to me that you are mine. Then the covenant is made. Seal the pact so you may use your junk. It is done. Quickly! I don't think I've seen Father use this ever since he snagged it from your party. This would be good. What's the hold? What the... Hello, my hero. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Come on, it's almost time for lunch on. They made those pastries you really like. No, it's me, Lilith. I'm not sorry at all. I just had to. Clean air, blue skies, clear lakes, sun burning bright. Yes, disgusting. Looks like 7 years before Dad moves up. Do you still have the clock? It broke? Well, you got plenty of time to prepare. A little lost? I'm sure you are. Well, I got a few options for you if you're willing to listen. If power is what you're craving, You could take a year just to enjoy your putridly clean world to get your bearings. Just make sure you don't run across any of your old acquaintances. It's going to be a whole lot of you and me for a long time. If you're feeling kinda bold, you could venture into the Sanguine Swamp and confront one of the Dark Lord's greatest troops before they pledge alliance. I think something happened to the old leader that drove them kind of crazy. Just a heads up, Dad mumbled about his ambassador having to stand on their knees. And if you're feeling gusty and bent on revenge, you could move in with me in the underworld. Nothing is going to give you more intimate knowledge on how to survive the unholy creatures that brought rapture to your home than getting up close and personal. Of course, I'm going to have to make you half demon so you can survive the heat. Just a little heads up. You're going to have to pick up a new choice of weapon because that icky sword is going to burn right through your hand. Better make a choice. Time is hardly on your side. Just make sure not to disappoint me or get too chummy with any other lady because, well, I think I'll get you like a trout from the inside out is what I'm going to do. There's that steely glare. You'll be back in fighting shape in no time. In the meantime, why not enjoy the breeze? Come, sit on my lap. Would you rather spar then? No holds barred. Yeah, that's what I thought. Good, they're finally asleep. I can finally study them and figure out the source of their resolve. There's got to be some sort of trick they have, some sort of enchantment that keeps them going. I've never seen a person or beast withstand 80 of Father's lashings and live to tell the tale. No less continued to mock him despite it all. Their kingdom fell, their world fell, and yet they didn't. Oh, if it wasn't for Daddy ruining everything for me, I would have cut them apart and sewn them back to find whatever was making them tick. I don't understand. I just don't. I thought I'd be furious the day you took from me. I had to learn to live with a lot of things. Father wasn't going to restore my arm for my failure. The army had gotten pretty lazy ever since the victory, with everyone feeling pretty full of themselves, with nothing left to conquer. How boring. You're the only person that gives me that spark. makes me feel alive and fulfilled. The day that I thought it would be all over defied me. All that waiting and training, watching your every move as you liberated our territory, slew our greatest beast, and made a lot of ugly decisions. They called me mad for watching over you, but little do they know that there is an explicit difference between obsession and passion. I wonder, what will you choose to do? Are you going to be a same stubborn knight? Or are you going to become a monster just like me? I have very high expectations for you. Should you kneel over the crack under the pressure, I'd be fine to button you up like a dog and wreck this little marble you call home myself. I can see your dreams empty. For years I have watched your mind get corroded by a miasma of misery, regret, and everlasting pain. Illuminating the void, I saw a small flame, insignificant yet refused to be snuffed. The void now is vast, full of space. The horizon is growing closer. Now then, my darling, what will you choose? What will it be? Duty? Relax? Investigate? Or would you consider falling with me into the abyss? Oh, this is going to be a grand time. So, what will it be? Where are you going to take this? Well, pack your things, darling. I've got a marvelous pair of horns just for you. I hope you like the smell of brimstone and malice, because you're moving in with me. Expect a nice steady diet of carnage and darkness to rule your little crusade. I think I'll make you a nice little collar so you don't stray too far. So be it. I'll go gather my things and say I'm going on a long-term intel mission to try to seduce and smother you in your sleep. Just so you know, I'm moving in. I'll be more close to you than your shadow, so don't even think about so much as to look at another lady, or you'll be splattered across 12 of these 7 nations, okay?